You've seen all those typical videos with home selling advice. Today on this video from Move Us to Scottsdale, I'm going to dig deeper. I'm going to go past the obvious advice that most home sellers already know and talk to you about 5 home selling pitfalls that can really stress you out. Hello, I'm Carol Bloom with Move Us to Scottsdale and Keller Williams, a real estate relocation specialist licensed both in California and Arizona. The goal of this video is to bring these pitfalls out in the open so you can be a smarter home seller selling quickly. If you watch this video to the end, I'll give you a free guide on steps to prepare and list a house for sale. Most home sellers focus on preparation of their house, and that is super important. Yes, you need to declutter. Yes, you need to work on curb appeal. Yes, you need to hire a professional realtor with local market knowledge that can help you through the whole process. But selling a house is so much more than just getting it ready to hit the market. I want to help you be a smart and therefore less stressed home seller. So here are my 5 home selling pitfalls that you need to be aware of. Number 1, the packing pitfall. Every seller feels like a hoarder at some point during the packing process. People do not know how much stuff they have jammed in the back of their linen closet or up in the attic, in the kitchen cabinets, until they start pulling all of it out to pack for their move. Don't wait until after you have a contract to do this. You already have to declutter to get your house ready, to put it on the market. Go one step further and fully declutter. That means go through every cabinet and closet. Get rid of everything you don't want to take with you to your next home. Yes, it's a lot of work to do up front, but the payoff is huge. It's less stress when it comes to time to the actual move. There's going to be so much more things for you to worry about. You don't need to worry about the old towels in the back of your linen closet when your closing date is looming. Another benefit you'll be able to is thoughtfully donate or assign value to the items. Number 2, the financing pitfall. Congratulations! You got a great offer on your perfectly prepped home. The offer comes through with the buyer's pre-qualification letter. You're confident the buyer's ability to close on that loan, but you shouldn't be. As a smart home seller, you have to do a little digging deeper and ask some very specific questions about the lender's letter that came with the buyer's offer. Here's what you should be asking. Has the buyer just verbally talked with the lender and told them what how their income and their debts are? Or has the buyer provided the actual documentation to the lender that verifies their income and overall financial picture? Which means statements from their bank, their pay stubs. Has the lender run their credit yet? If the buyer for your house sends you a pre-approval letter that specifies these documents have been provided by the lender and their credit has been run, then this piece of paper is far more valuable than just one from a buyer who verbally told their lender what their financial picture is. And that seems obvious, right? Not necessarily. Sellers get so excited to accept the offer that they don't read what the letter from their lender actually says. Do your best to stay out of the financing pitfall and insist that the buyer of your home provides documentation to their lender before accepting the offer. Now, don't get me wrong. Going this extra step does not mean that the buyer's loan is necessarily going to close. There's still a lot of hurdles to overcome in the financing process. But it's going that extra mile and asking these questions will give you a little bit of peace of mind when accepting that buyer's offer. Number 3, the title pitfall. Home sellers very rarely think about whether there's something on their title of their house that might get in the way of the sale. The title company and the buyer's lender is going to need a title search to be run to make sure there's no clouds on the title. Was there a break in the chain on the title at some point? Is there a lien still attached to the property? Or maybe there's an inaccurate or illegal description of the house. These are just a few examples of the title pitfalls that can get in your way for a home sale. And another search that buyers will typically do is a permit search. Does your house have any open permits that you don't know about? If it does, the buyer will probably want these permits to be closed, and that can be a long and expensive process that may delay your closing. If you want to get ahead of any of these potential title problems that may affect your sale, meet with a trusted title agent prior to the listing of your home. Have them run a search, and that way you know if there's any potential title pitfalls that might get in the way. Number 4, the home inspection pitfalls. Sellers say to me all the time, "Carol, there's nothing wrong with my house." And I totally believe them. I really do. But what I also know is sellers are not going through their house with a fine-tooth comb the same way a home inspector does. Imperfections will be found even on the most well-cared-for homes. You, as a smart home seller, are going to go into inspection day knowing that the buyer may ask for some repairs, and that's okay. But Carol, you might say, I have an as-is contract. I don't have to do repairs. These contracts are very popular in the state of Arizona and California, and I wish I could say that it's true. But a good percentage of the time, buyers will still ask you to do some repairs. Then you have to decide if you want to do these repairs or run the risk of the buyer canceling the contract and falling headfirst in the inspection pitfall. Every transaction is different and should be evaluated individually. That is what your realtor is there to help you with. But before you make an emotional decision on not to do repairs, look at what the home inspector found. Are these things that might come up on a different buyer's home inspection report? Are there safety hazards found in your home that you should want to repair because you're still living there? Is there water intrusion somewhere? No matter how small, if it's not stopped, it will create much more damage. So in a lot of the cases, it's in the best interest for all parties to do certain repairs. Repair negotiations can be tricky, so be a smart home seller and go into negotiations with a realistic expectations. Number 5. The appraisal pitfall. A buyer's lender needs a third party to verify the house that it's actually worth what the contract price is. And the proud owner of the house, you know why it's worth every penny the buyer's willing to pay. Heck, it's probably worth more in your mind. However, they are looking at it in a very clinical way, and they have guidelines they have to follow. So how can you be a smart home seller on appraisal day? Make sure your home is show ready when the appraiser comes to see the house. Yes, appraisers are supposed to look past your boxes of clutter, but they're human too. And it only makes sense to have your house looking its best on the day that somebody is going to come and value the house. I also ask my sellers, leave a list of upgrades and renovations that you've done along with the approximate cost. If you put a new roof on, put it on the list. Approximate cost. A new air conditioning unit, that goes on the list. Any of the upgrades that you have done to the house, it goes on the list. I give the list to the appraiser, so he or she has all the information on the home from the seller that they want you to have. even with a perfectly cleaned house and all the right information, there's no guarantee the appraisal is going to come in on value. And it's out of your hands, which is what makes this a crazy pitfall. Remember, it does take several days for the lender to get the appraisal report back. So don't expect the answer the next day. Be patient. If the value comes in below, your realtor should be able to advise you on the best course of action. Thank you for joining me on this video. As promised, in the description box below is your free guide on steps to prepare and list a house for sale. I'm Carol Bloom with Move Us to Scottsdale. I hope you found the information helpful to make it easier to overcome those home selling pitfalls. Please hit the like button or leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel to learn more about Scottsdale and all things real estate. If you're looking for another video to watch on my channel, you might enjoy how to sell your house while buying another house. And I'll see you at the next video.